The passing of time, minutes to hours, hours to days, days to months, months to years. Time keeps moving forward, whether we like it or not. So I asked Google to define time. As the journey continues in life, we realize that time is inescapable. It is inevitable. For me, I've been meaning to make time to post a video, but before I knew it, it was over a year and a half of time just flying by.
Hey YouTube friends! Wow, I know, it has been a long minute since my last video. It is so good to be back. Time is a funny thing. I don't know if you all feel this way, but for me, as the years progress, sometimes I feel really old, but other times I feel like, you know, I'm pretty much, I think the same way like I did when I was younger in some ways. Of course, I've gained some wisdom over the years, but sometimes I'll look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, dude, who is this old man staring back at me in the mirror? I don't know, man. Time just flies. Some of you may be familiar with that Netflix series, Stranger Things. And one of the pretty cool things I found, I've only seen the first season, but the whole season is set back in a period piece back in the 80s. And it's about these boys and a girl. But anyway, I did the math, and the age of the boys and the girl in Stranger Things is the exact same age I was back in the 80s. So it was kind of like mind blown, like, oh wow, like I actually lived back in that time before internet, before just the information age. It's kind of crazy to think because it's kind of like an outer body experience. Do you guys ever feel that way? I feel like it's hard for me to conceive that I lived in that time period. I don't know, it seems like literally ages ago. And it makes me shocked to think about how old I actually am. It's crazy because this year in 2023, I'm gonna be turning 50 years old. And I think when I was young, I used to think 50 years old was like, I couldn't even conceive that age. And here I am at the cusp of being 50 years old. Man, I'll tell you, time is a crazy thing. When I turned 25 years old, I was in the last year of college. I kind of started college late. And I remember just being semi-depressed because I thought, wow, I'm a quarter of a century old. I was thinking, what are you doing with your life? You haven't even finished college yet. You don't have a real job. You're not married. I had thought in my mind, like the perfect case scenario is I would have been married by the age of 25. And I thought I was so old. And it's funny to think back that, you know, if I was 25 now, I would be like, wow, I'm so young now. So it is crazy to think how time flies by. I think in some ways, like people now, their whole life is chronicled with their smartphones and with ubiquity of videos and Snapchat, and I don't even know, TikTok. I haven't even been on any of those yet. And it took me forever just to get on Instagram. You know, regarding time, I was thinking about the scene in the book and in the movie from J.R.R. Tolkien, The Lord of the Rings. And it's when Frodo is basically lamenting the fact that he is the ring bearer, that he has to be the one to go and destroy the ring. and the burden that, all that takes with it. And this is what he says to Gandalf. I don't want to mess it up. So he says, "I wish it had not happened in my time." And Gandalf the Wise gives some sage advice, and he says, "So do I, and so do all who live to see such times. But that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time given us." Wow. All we have to do is decide what to do with the time given us. That's powerful. I guess we can ask ourselves as this journey continues in life, what are we going to do with the time given us? In a world that values possessions and money and accolades, what are we going to do that's going to make an impact in this world? All right, it is time to eat. So we got a fresh bagel from Very Bagel right there. And I got me this is like an old man energy drink from Korea. It's called Pakasu. And this is 6 eggs with 1 yolk. I basically break all the eggs, take 5 yolks out, and then just fry it basically. It's a nice, cheap protein source. I know eggs are really expensive in America, but fortunately the bird flu didn't hit Korea, so that's good for me. And then I got my my cheap water. We buy a big case so that we don't have to buy it at the convenience store. Here's a very good bagel. What's interesting about this bagel is that it's really good. It's really tasty. It's got a nice texture to it, but it's not like the traditional bagel that you find maybe in westernized world. It's kind of like got a doughy texture to it. It's good. It's just not like your typical bagel. But I found that I kind of like it. It's a different spin on a bagel, but it's pretty good. We also buy Pakasu by the case and deliver it to our house because it's like half the price. So I think it's around 40 cents a bottle compared to like 80 cents a bottle at the store.